What's going on, football fans? It's time once again for another rendition of the Pound for Pound. I'm your host, JR Clark, and tonight we're going to be talking about free agency. The NFL Combine's been going on this week, and a lot of interesting things have been coming out. First and foremost, Dan Quinn and Thomas Dimitroff spoke at the Combine saying that things that we had already kind of like predicted to happen, almost like confirmed it. Such as Dontari Poe, probably not going to re-sign. I mean, Dimitroff went on to even essentially thank Dontari Poe. What's up, buddy? How are you doing, sir? Thank Dontari Poe for his service here in Atlanta. I mean, not all, but pretty much says you're done, which is something I kind of called last week or so when the last video I did. Another guy I said was Taylor Gabriel. They're going to let him hit free agency. So with that being said, I look for him in San Francisco. Yeah. See, I'm about to get to that. Yeah, I'm about to get to that. Then you got Kamal Ishmael, letting him test free agency. But the biggest news, as everybody's hitting up right now, is the rumor mill of Michael Bennett potentially being traded to Atlanta. Now, this was kind of talked about a couple days ago on Twitter and stuff like that, and but it's really starting to gain traction, as in Von McClure of ESPN reported that the Falcons are among the teams that are interested in trading for him. And you're right, completely, utterly right. It does make sense. I mean, he played under Quinn for 2 seasons. Quinn knows him. He is what we tried to get out of Adrian Claiborne. Does that make, what I'm saying? So that was the role that we tried to get Adrian Claiborne to do, which he did good. He did fine. I'm not knocking Claiborne at all. But if you can get a Michael Bennett, then that's a surefire upgrade, to that role. So that is that's a welcome sign. Whether we land him or not, at least we're not resting on our laurels. You see what I'm saying? At least we're not just trying to stick with the exact same squad and go with it. DJ Chark from it's Chark, I believe, from LSU, that he would be an interesting mid-round pick. That much is for sure if they decide to go for that. But it's really looking like that. It's really looking like in our first round we're probably going to go defensive tackle. I've seen the name Taven Bryan bounced around quite a bit. I've been watching some film on him, the draft breakdown stuff. There's a couple other people who do some real interesting breakdowns themselves. We'll trade up if there's a guy that we want. Period. Point blank. Our front office has shown that they are willing to go get their guy, regardless of what everybody else thinks of him or anything like that. If if Vita is our guy, then they'll figure out a way to get him. I mean, so whoever they feel like is going to help our team, that's who they're going to go get. When we drafted Neal a few years back, everybody's like, "Oh man, it's way too early in the first round." Well, that's the guy they wanted, and he's proven to be that guy for us. So let's see. I'm not sure. Charleston Nash, I don't know what you mean by how. Anyway, but I don't think Vita will be there. That Vita Vea, I highly doubt he'll be there. I mean, he put up some ridiculous numbers at the Combine. Okay, how much cap space? Right now we're projected to probably have about $20 million in cap space. And I'm glad you mentioned the departures. Another thing that came out of the Combine so far this weekend is we have released Levine Toilolo and Derek Shelby. Those were kind of interesting surprises. I mean, interesting in the sense that you just signed Toilolo to a 3-year deal last year, and Derek Shelby, when he was on the field, he was a productive run stuffer for us. But I guess that he carried too high of a price tag for him. For what he did, that's what I'm assuming they're hoping to pick up in the first round of the draft. If I had to, yeah, I mean Shelby surprised me because he came back Well, that's the 10, 12 million in cap space as of right now. That's we're probably projected to have more than that by the time free agency actually hits. So also keep in mind, I don't think he's put anything out there yet, but I'll go ahead and say it. Toby's taking a step back for a little while. I'm not exactly sure how long. He's focusing on his music. He does some real good Christian music. You ought to go check him out on Reverb Nation. So it's probably going to be just me, holding it down on the channel for a while. And I may start doing more stuff like this, more like live stream type stuff late at night. So if y'all like this format, let me know, because that's I really like doing it like this, because I get to interact with y'all while I'm doing it. So that makes it a lot more fun for me. As far as Jimmy Graham goes, I mean, it makes sense. It makes a ton of sense to go get him. But I'm not 100% sure if the price tag is going to be right. That's more about what I'm worried about. I mean, if we can make the price work, yeah, he would be a great fit. But they have already been talking to a handful of tight ends at the at the combine. Hayden Hurst was a name that popped up. He's a real athletic tight end out of South Carolina, so that'll be a name to watch come draft time. As far, let's see if I can pull the chat back up itself. Here we go. I think Schaub should be somebody to watch out as far as to be cut. If I had to make a guess, I mean, that's a lot of money for a backup, and not a great backup. Let's see. Yeah, I honestly believe that Gabriel's heading towards San Francisco. That much is for sure. And so yeah. Let's see, Allen Robinson yeah. What's up, Jazzy? How are you tonight, sir? Glad to see you on. If we draft a QB, it's going to be later in the draft. I mean, Ryan's still dead in his prime, and they're looking to extend him, obviously. So you're not going to bring any real competition. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they drafted for him or even traded for Trevor Siemian from the Broncos for a real cheap draft pick. My dream pickup in the first round, honestly, would be either the best guard available, or either Tavin Bryan or Harrison Phillips. Maurice Hurst would be interesting as well, but he come down with a heart condition. It seems to be the same heart condition that Star Lotulelei had out in Panthers, but more information will come out of that as we get closer to the actual draft. Let's see. Kevin Smith would be interesting. I've seen that. I've seen that linked to on Twitter. Watched a few clips from him. I mean, anybody's got to be better than Derek Coleman. I mean, I'm sorry. I know the dude's deaf, and he's a real good story, but he missed far too many blocks for us. So I don't want to see Derek Coleman back in a Falcons uniform. Watching a little bit of what Kevin Smith did out there in Dallas, I'll take him all day long. I'll take him in a heartbeat. But there's also a couple interesting fullback in the draft. Dimitri Flowers from Oklahoma. And then there's this hybrid player that I've really kind of gotten a man crush on. His name's Jalen Smith. He's out of NC State. So, get a chance, go look him up. He's like a Swiss Army knife as far as a tight end, running back, fullback, slot receiver. I definitely would like that. See, what do you think about trading down to get? I mean, trading down's always great, but you got to find somebody who's willing to trade with you, right? You have to have a dance partner, so to speak. And unless somebody that's in the top of the second round wants to come up to get somebody from the, in the bottom of the first, that's about the only way that's going to make that happen. With us being at 26, I mean, if they can pull it off, I would love it. I'm all for getting more draft picks and bolstering your roster, especially if you feel like your guy's going to be there at the top of the second round. Yeah, I mean, heck, if we could trade out of the first round altogether, sure. Or I mean, if somebody, if you want, if you're talking about, well, I see what you're saying. If you want to talk about going a couple spots back, that's fine too. But somebody has to be willing to come up. There has to be. What you talking about on the Falcoholic? What their torrents? I mean, I keep a close eye on it, so not sure what you're speaking on. Maybe it's the Michael Bennett thing. Yeah, see, that's the deal. That's what makes the first round important now is the 5th-year option. The 5th-year option makes the first round. That's what makes going to get Keanu Neal in the first round make sense. Yeah, people may consider him a second-round talent, but if you liked him and that's what you wanted, you got him in the first to get, you get the 5th-year option. No, I didn't see that on the Falcoholic about trading Devontae. I've seen that been battered about, as far as like on 92.9 The Game and, the local radio station here and stuff like that. I don't see trading, if they're not willing to trade Coleman, I don't see them trading Devontae. That's just my opinion. Hell, I could be wrong. Nobody saw him trading up to get Julio, so who, Yeah, as far as Talib, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure if I'd want Talib, especially if we get Bennett. I mean, Bennett and Talib, that's two crazy people on one team. No, I'd rather not. I think we can, contain Bennett's craziness, but as far as having, him and Chain Snatcher, I'm good. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I like the way our cornerback and our defensive backs are set. You might need a corner, like a slot corner, but Brian Poole does a pretty good job there. So I'm more interested in fixing the D line and fixing the O line. The trenches is what I'm really interested in, that and finding a capable third wide receiver. So, but look, I'm gonna let y'all go. This was a lot of fun. If y'all enjoy this, like I said, leave a comment down below, so that I know if y'all like this, because I'd like to keep doing it like this, because this is a little easier on me as far as like editing and stuff like that. I can just post and go here, and plus I get to interact with y'all in the process. So let me know what y'all think, and as always, Falcon fan, rise up, keep an eye on the channel, and we're gonna do some more things, man. Appreciate it. Have a good night.